G'day, welcome back. I'd especially like to welcome my new subscribers and I hope you enjoy the content on my channel. If you missed my last video, there's a link up there now. You can go and watch that first, then come back and watch this one. Now, last week when I left you, I just finished boring this out, take the bearing, but now it needs to have some holes drilled and tapped in it. So let's head over to the mill and start doing that. Over there. Alrighty, so barring giving this the bush mechanic treatment to make that bearing fit in there properly and putting a couple of chamfers on these threads on the other side, that's that bearing done. So next, have off the rank that threading tool still on here is to get that all fitted up and do something about fixing all the detent for it. Alrighty, so if you weren't sure what I meant by I was going to go around this and give it the bush mechanics treatment, if you get something like this where you've overshot it and the bearing, there's not a good fit in there, it's not a tight fit, and you want it to be just a bit tight, just get a bloody centre punch. Now obviously this is a gear and I don't want to wreck it, so I'm going to use a bit of aluminium underneath there. I'm going to set that in there, a bit of a tap. It doesn't need to be humongous. I don't want to go over the top of that thread there, so I'll come a little bit either side of it. Just go right around it, give it a few light taps in there. Oh, it can be a little difficult when you only got something shallow like this, but I do believe it's starting to rain. Get the sun's out. Here's the forecast for storms today here. Oh, lucky last. Right, now that should no longer be a slip fit in there, and it's not. So we'll just get it in here in the vice grip. Let me move this. Press it in there. And now that's not coming out of there anytime soon. Beautiful. I'll get some bolts in there. This should pull up in there okay. Let's give it a squeeze to see what it looks like. Doesn't look like I've got a gap in there, so that should bolt up alright. Alrighty, so I'll get some bolts in that and bolt it all together and we'll get it fitted up. Alrighty, so that's bolted all up. It's come out really nice. Perfect. Alrighty, so with that pull up held engaged, it's a little bit cocked like this, but I don't want to risk of trying to straighten it up. So I'm going to pull it over that way just a little bit when I hit it, but just get that transfer punch up in there. Centre punch mark in that. I'm glad I did this the way I've done it, with just that one this one little brass bolt that holds this on, because it's easy to get off. Quick and easy. So I'll drill that out a bit. Alrighty, so I bought this ball-nosed end mill a while back. I'm going to be a bit naughty, put it in a bloody drill and just round this off a bit. Alrighty, so I got down the road the other day and I got some more balls and some 5mm and some 6mm. So these 5mm will actually fit down the inside of these things. But in the end of, let me just put these down somewhere where they roll away. What I did do is I drilled the end of this out. So one of those 6mm balls should fit in there. And doesn't quite. So I'll have to go with the 5mm one. Although I really would like to put that 6mm one in and make it a little more captive in there. Because now the 5mm one will just fall straight down through there and it would be a bit bloody, oh shit, a bit loose up in there. Alrighty, so I just stuck that 6mm drill, I drilled 6mm drill back in there again. Must have shrunk a bit after I'd welded it all up. So that'll sit in there nicely now. One of these springs that'll fit in here. Squeeze it, I might have to cut it down a bit. To make sure that stays in there, I'll just put a little bit of grease on it. Alright, so a nice dollop of grease in there. Stick that ball into it. And it won't fall out on me then. Back up here. Yeah, don't know whether it'll compress up enough or not, but we'll have a go. 6mm grub screw. Hey. Oh, damn it. Put this back on there and just check, see how well it works. Put this back in here so we get up to the right depth. Yeah, I think that'll stay there. Can I tighten that screw up a little bit more? Too tight. Oh, that's a bastard. I really wanted that up there, really fully engaged, so there's no backlash, but oh well, that's life. Right, now while I think of it, one thing that I'm going to have to do with this, because I won't have, you know, the little meter that tells you when you can engage and disengage, is I'll have to engage it, feed it up, stop the spindle, wind the cross slide back out, and then put it in reverse and feed it back again, and then wind it back in, feed it up, and try to stay the hell away from here. I'm a little bit disappointed about that being like that, actually. I really wanted it to be fully engaged and no backlash in it. Well, I might be able to sort that out somehow. Anyway, we'll look into that. Alrighty, so I've just had a phone call from a delivery guy saying he'll be here in the next hour with my bloody tool holder. So I best get all this back together. The only gear or sprocket I've got left now that's not metal, so aluminium or steel. There's a plastic one that I printed up on the front there, which I'm not going to bother changing for the time being. But anyway, we'll get this back on here. I think this is the belt for this. Can't remember. No, that's too bloody long, that one. This one. Like I said, I showed you before, these are coming up really. I've got it down pat now making these belts, so they're coming up really well. Just want to make sure that when they're rotating they're not coming up against that edge so I can lift it. I did machine this shaft down to 10mm in the end too, so that I can get enough and then put it flat on it so that I could get the grub screw in there far enough to tighten it up properly. Alrighty, this other thing back on here. So I might put a couple of drops of oil on there. First, I was going to bush this, and then I looked at what I had there. I've been using it for 3 years with just steel running on steel and just keeping it well lubricated. Hadn't worn much, so I'm going to stick with that. In a few days, I don't know what I did with the 2 screws for in there, but I won't bore you with them. I'll find them and I'll get this cover fitted back up. And it's bar day today, so I'm not going to do any more this afternoon. So tomorrow morning, I'll get something set up in there. I want to try and cut a 1mm pitch thread, and I do have a 14x1 metric nut here. So rather than try and cut something small with a 1mm pitch thread, I'll try and cut a 14x1 metric thread. I was watching something yesterday, and I don't know why I didn't think of it before. The guy was talking about if only he had DRO, he could tell how far his carriage had moved. Well, I might have a look and see what the DRO was telling me tomorrow for one full revolution, see what it says before we go try and cut that thread. But anyway, until tomorrow. Alrighty, so this morning I've been doing a bit of setup work, a little bit of pre-machining and whatever. But before we get started, I thought we might do this DRO test. So hopefully you can see that it's on 0 over there. These are pretty much lined up with this, and I'm going to go and stand in the lathe so I can look down those dots and along that line and try and get it as close as I can to being one full revolution. We'll see just how far it moves. Oh, Jesus, that can't be right. That can't be bloody right. Surely not. It's engaged, it says it's only moved 0.76 of a millimetre. Ah, bullshit, that can't be right. Let's do it again. That's better. It says 0.98 of a millimetre, so that's sort of only 200ths, so we're looking good. There might have just been a bit of backlash that we hadn't taken up. Alrighty, so I'll finish machining this down to 14mm. It's currently, hang on, let me reposition this camera. Now I have currently got that tailstock in there, but I'm not going to leave it there because I was playing with this a little bit yesterday afternoon, and when you first, because I had to stop and start the spindle, when you first restart the spindle it goes boom, speeds up and then slows back down when you first start it. So I want to be able to get this well back away from the job, which means probably getting rid of this. But anyway, we'll keep going with this turning this down. Almost I'm going to measure it. Currently 18 mil. So I've got to take another 4mm off there yet. Actually, I'll bring you back. No, we'll do a little bit and then I'll bring you back. Alrighty, so that should be just a touch under 14mm. No, it's just over 14.02 and only 2/100ths of a millimetre for the taper over there. But I'd like it a bit smaller than that, so I'm going to go down just a little bit more. I think I took too much then. Yeah, I did. It's only 13.83, 13.81 there, 82 rather. It's only 1/100th over that. Oh, that'll do. Blend might end with a bit of a flattish looking thread. That's quite a nice looking piece of machining for a bit of scrapinium. Now I'll get a chamfer on here. I definitely don't need to wind this hard and as fast anymore with those different ratio on the back. Get rid of some of this garbage out of here. Alrighty, so I dug out a tool hole this morning to put this in. So I'll turn the camera off now and I'll get this all set up, get the height centered, get rid of all of this out of the way, and we'll take the plunge. It'll be the proof is in the pudding, you know. I'm a little nervous about this, to be honest with you. I've been single pointed the thread for so long, it's not funny. But anyway, we won't know until we do it, do we? But anyway, I'll turn the camera off and we'll get back to you. Alrighty, so I've dug out my 14x1 nut to try on there when we get to that point. Now, got this set up. I only used the, you know, the 6-inch rule method of, you know, setting the height on that. So hopefully it's okay. Now, I'm going to engage this lever to start the threading, but once I've engaged it, it's got to stay engaged until I'm finished. So I have no intention of going all the way to the end here. I'm going to try and stop it about here somewhere maybe. Just in case it doesn't stop fast enough. Don't want to crash into that shoulder there. And this is only like test threading. And if you watch carefully, when I switch from forward to reverse, sorry, from reverse to forward, although it'll be stop to forward, you'll see what I meant about it. Sort of speeds up and then it sort of drops into a standard sort of pace after that. Not a standard pace, a steady pace. Anyway, like I said, I'm really quite nervous about doing this. Anyway, we'll see how we go. I've got a 0.05 depth of cut there at the moment. I've set it up and we'll run it up. I bought a new thread gauge a while back, so we'll run it up and we'll just check it and see what it looks like. So here goes nothing. Out. And what does that look like? Bloody camera's in the way, it's going to be hard for me to see. It kind of looks alright. Well, I'll go back and make another pass. I'll go 0.1 pass this time, see how it goes. What happened there? What the hell happened there? Oh, get stuffed. My belt broke. The belt broke. Oh well, looks like I'll make a new belt and start again. Alrighty, so I think this is a little bit of a chicken and the egg type scenario. You know what came first? It's come off the roller. But did it come off the roller because the belt broke? Or did the belt break because it came off the roller. I tend to suspect that the belt broke because it came off the roller, because they are pretty strong, those joints. Anyway, I'll get in and make myself a new belt, but I think I'll, rather than trying to make something to put over there, because I don't want to take all that out of there and start again, I think I'll jump online and order, if I can get one here in Thailand, a belt tensioner pulley, you know, one with the little groove in it, the C-shaped groove, the U-shaped grooves, and see if I can't get one of them here tomorrow. Alrighty, so I couldn't find one here in Thailand and had to come from China. I'm damn sure I was going to wait another week, so I just machined one up myself. So I'll get a new belt made and get this thing fitted up, and I'm going to have to remachine that bloody thing, so I have to pull it all out and make this. So we'll get all that done, and then when I'm ready to have another crack at threading, I'll come back to you. Alright, I thought I'd just show you this. Made a new belt up, put it on here, but as it wraps around this 20 tooth belt, it tends to pull it really tight, and it was starting to lift the joint apart. So I did what I said I was going to do originally, and I used a bit of rubber tight inner tube and glued it on the back here, but it looks weird. Have a look at this. I don't know how long it'll go like that, but I'll try and finish this video using that. But I think for these 20 tooth belts, where they're so tight, they're going to wrap around there so hard, I might see if I can buy a pre-made belt to fit these ones. At this point in the video, I'd like to thank my patrons. This continued support is greatly appreciated. If you'd like to become a patron, there's a link down in the description. You can sign up there and drop me a couple of dollars every month. If you don't want to be a regular contributor, there's always buy me a coffee. Now, let's get back to the build. I'm starting to think this bloody job is jinxed. This project is jinxed. To try and not put too much pressure on that funky looking belt up the back, I pulled all these off this morning while I was remachining that bit of steel. Putting it all back on, and this belt broke on me. And it bloody snapped right, like I must have cut through it too much when I was trying to cut them, like shorten them up, and only left a little tiny bit like this wide to try and glue it back together. So what I've done is I've glued a big strip of belt on there, like back to back on it, and there's no tensioner on this one, so you can just run on it. But it doesn't like being bent around corners, and it's starting to lift here already. So yeah, I'll just show you. It's knocking a bit too, I don't know why. But anyway, so hopefully it's all going to hold together while I try and cut some threads. I have ordered a belt for up the back. I think I'm going to give up on trying to make these things, work out what these two belts are, and order a couple of one-piece ones for there as well. So let me move this camera and we'll try and cut some threads. So here we go. Alrighty, so here goes nothing. I did notice this morning, before I forget, that, you know, having these two levers down here is, it doesn't feel that weird. They don't seem to feel like they're getting in the way of each other, and it's working out quite well actually. But anyway, so let's see how we go. There's plenty of time to get into its stride. Don't do that. Oh Jesus, that just dropped out of gear. Far out. I'll run it back up there. I think that might be a tooth out from where it was, because it dropped out of gear and I put it back into gear, but I think it could be a tooth out. Now we'll keep going, we'll see. Hard to see because it's so fine, but anyway, we'll keep going. profile thread. It was 0.15 that cut, that one and the one before. I think I'll go back to 0.1 cuts. A bit of oil on it too. Slipping again, is it? No, what's going on here? That is hideous. I think this is slipping up the back here again, because that's just literally chewed that to pieces. That's stuffed. No. Well, at this point in time, I'd have to say this is a failure. But I guess the only way I'm going to really find out is to get some proper decent belts and put on it. Stop things from slipping and moving all the bloody time. That's all I hate to say it. I'm going to call this episode to an end. Get on with something else. Order some more belts for the front. I mean, the ones for the back said they're going to be nearly 2 weeks, so I'm not going to sit around and wait for that. So I'll get on with another project and we'll revisit this down in a couple of weeks' time when I get some proper belts for it. So I hope you've enjoyed watching me do this and watching my trials and tribulations. And if you have been, make sure you give it a great big thumbs up and smash that like button, because you know it kind of helps me out with this bloody algorithm of this. Alright, so until next time, that's it. So see you then. Bye bye.